Hi guys. So let's quickly go through the steps we mentioned in the previous class, but I will not give much explanations here, just to demonstrate the steps. Okay, so and after we finish the steps, and then we will starting the new. Then I will explain um, the steps. Okay, so because here the step right now demonstrate that we already explained in the previous class. So first, you can see I already changed the names, right? The one dash space, two dash space. Okay. So here you can use the visibility from here, the properties, the floor plan, or you can directly type the VG, right? So you can see the mouse cursor, it comes with the space, right? The box, you can see here, right? And don't forget to check the properties. So you can see here the up limit, right? That's level 1, but it uses offset to set up the highest limit. So but it's not very recommended for the beginners because it will cause a lot of issues, right? Sometimes you don't really know the height, right? It's suitable for sometimes the floor. It has a different height ceilings. Okay, you can use this way, but gen- generally it's not recommended. Okay, for the especially for this simple situation. So what we can do, right? So you change to the ceiling, right? So like we said in the last class, so if you do not, so here, this is here is just to show all the levels you have in the elevations. If you do not name the ceiling one, if you name the like the level 2, level 3, level 5, so it will show like the level 2, level 3, level 5, something like that. Okay, so someone in the past when they do the senior design, they say I cannot find ceiling because he did not name the levels in with the ceiling, right? So he, of course he cannot find here. You see other name changed, right? so it has a green color. So in the past, someone said, why I cannot have the green color? That's because you uncheck the interiors in the visibility override. Okay. You also can change name here. Right, you can change to the shift, right? See, I move, right? And then you can see I have the lid here, right? Oh, you see, one of mistakes made, just very simple mistakes. So you can see here, I forgot to check the lid, right? So you can see it has the warnings. So, but I did not pay attention to the warning. You see, so that's not good, right? So you can sometimes you can check the warnings, right? Okay. Okay, so the warning is the message is also help. You can see here, I also did not check the lid data, right? So it has the questions, right? Okay, so it also has the same warnings, right? So what you can do, so you also need to check that, right? So you can do the shelf space one by one, or you can multiple select them, right? So if you want to change the same thing, properties of the all several multiple spaces, you can select them all and then change at the same time. Okay, and we know from the slide we said it's not ceiling, right? So it directly go to the roof, right? But then because it had uh, not exactly the same level, so you need to change that, right? Don't forget to click apply. So here we manually input that, okay, because this one is not, we do not have the name, this flow in the architecture model, so the Revit cannot directly copy the architecture model's name to here, so you need to input that, right? Okay. So you can use the same method for the second floor. So right now I would write to save, okay, to save the files. Okay. So you can do that, do the same step for the second floor. Okay. So you see that's sections, right? So we did last class. Okay, so you can double click, right? So you double click that, you can get it, open the section view, okay, and then you remember the section view. So that's it's showing here, right? Because you did not group that, so it's a question there. So that's okay. So you can see right now, so the section view is grouped under the HVAC, right? Okay, so far we finished the steps for the last class. So then we will get in do something new for this class. Okay. Okay, so let's start on the contents for today's class. So, okay, so right now, so today we were going to create the zones. Okay, so let's see how do we do that. So we want to first create the zones in the first floor. So you just go to the first open the one there space, right? Or go there, okay, and then here for the sessions we don't need that, so you can turn off them, right? So it will not disturb your attention. And also we need to show some details about the zone in the later when we create that. So let's first turn off the sessions, this the simple, right? So it's a nothing. So the section this simple, so we know that's the annotation, right? So you just go here where the section, right, under the annotation tab. Okay, you uncheck that. Then because right now we still want to do the zones, right? So we still need to work in the visibility. So you don't want to leave yet. So you can just click apply, right? Okay. So you can see that's disappeared, right? Then you go to the model category to find the zones. Okay. So the zone, remember, sometimes it's maybe not exactly the name you want. So actually the zone is called the HVAC zones, right? Okay. So uh you okay unclip that, so you can see the interior field and the reference line, right? Okay, your field reference line. So you just check that. Then, so you finish that. You can click OK, save and leave, right? Okay. So create the zones is the similar create the to the similar create the spaces, right? So it's still under the analyze tab. So you can see here the zone. So when you click that, right, so it will ask you to add the space. So you see here the HVAC zones, right? So you can add the space. So you add the space. But before, because probably we by mistake we click this, the mechanical room, so that's not what we want, right? So you also can remove the zones, right? So you can click that, then you click this, so you can see it's removed, right? So okay. So anyway, so let's go there. So you click the zones, right? And then you can see here it's automatically select that. You can edit, right? So like I said, you can add more space to the zones, right? So we can select the offices in the same side, right? Okay, to the zones. Okay, for example, we can select all the offices in this side. That's the south side, right? So you can see when you click the add space, it's ready. So you notice the mouse cursor change like this way. So it's just click the space you want, right? Then you say here, here, right? Okay, so you right now you add a total 6 spaces into the same zone, right? Now you can rename that. Okay, if you want to rename that, so it's very easy, right? It's you can do that here the identity data, so you can change to any name you want, right? But for this class, so you just follow the name shown in the slides, right? So that would be so people will not get confused. But for your senior design, so you can do whatever you want, but you need to make a zone accept the name acceptable among your team members, right? Okay. So when you finish, so you can click finish the zones, right? So I just click that finish. So you see I create the zone for these spaces. So we can do the same thing, right? So we can create the zones for other parts, right? Like the slide set. So we can do the for the launch, conference, and the north side of the building to create another zone, the office north, right? And then you can see later the tables summarize all the zones, right? Okay, they show you all the spaces on the each zones, right? Okay, so what we can do, we just follow that to do that. Okay, so you can see here. So actually, so for the office source, so it has 1 1 1 2 1 3 104 105 and 106, right? That's exactly what we have. So we can do the zone. Okay, so here like the my office north, so that's on this side, right? That's the north. So we have the okay, the 107 here. Click that. 108, right? 109, right? And then the launch, right? 110, and the conference 111, right? Okay. So you can see I select this, right? So you're okay with that. You change the names. Okay. So right now I will quickly create this since. So I will now talk. So you just follow my mouse cursor and create the zones together. Okay. So for the plenum, you also can put that in a zone. Okay. So right now you can see we finished uh, the zones for the first floor, right? Okay, so you can do the same thing for the second floor. Okay, so I will not repeat the steps in the videos for the second floor, but you need to do that. Okay, and but then there's the one thing we need to pay attention. So to the second floor, that's the same as the first floor, right? Okay, so you want to turn off these things, right? Okay, let's just quickly turn off them. Okay, so because you can see I did not create a space in the second floor, so right now, so I cannot create the zones, but you can do that. But there's the one thing I want to mention that, so remember in the first floor, what we missed, we did not create the stairway, right? Okay, so we did not group the stairway into the zone. We need to do that, okay? But we should know the stairway is not just the first floor, so it also has the second floor, right? So it crosses multiple levels. So how we do that? Because they are in the different level. You open the first floor and select the space, the stairway, but you cannot do that simultaneously select that in the second floor. So we need to show them together, right? So it's very easy. So you can click here, right? You also see the slides. Click close hiding windows, right? So you click this, okay? Then you double click open the first floor. That's what we want to see here, right? And then you type the shortcut WT. That's a window type, right? WT. Then you can see we have the open the two floors, right? Okay, the first floor and then the second floor. So you see the space here. Because I did not create the space in the second floor, so I cannot select any spaces there, right? But only I can select is the first floor, right? So you just do the same thing. You click the zone, then you click the zone, right? You add the stairway one, right? Then you can select the stairway at the second floor, so you can have the one zone for the stairway, this one, right? For the stairway south, then you do the same thing for the stairway north, right? Okay, so I will not do that because I did not have spaces in the second floor, right? Okay, so you can try it by yourself after class. So when you finish that, so we already create the zones, right? So I will rename that to the space at the zone, right? So we know, okay, I have the zones as well. So you can see space and the zone. Right? So I finished the finish that. Okay. Okay, so after we creating the zones, so we know the zone is sometimes it's a overlap with the space, so it's really not very easy to identify, right? Okay, so we need to do something make it more easy identify. So that means we will fill the colors, right? So that's what we will talk about. So in the following steps. Okay. So right now, so we are doing the zone color fill. So I use my created files, right? So where we already finish all the space zones, right? So let's start from there. Okay. So I just open the first floor. You double click the space, one dash space and the zones, right? Okay. So you can see there's a line here. That's not what we want, right? Okay. So we can turn off them. So you just go to the visibility, graphic, right? Go to the model, right? The model as the HVAC zones. Here, then you turn off the reference line, then you click OK, right? So you can see it's all disappeared, right? Okay, so then we can begin to fill the color. So you don't need to manually create the colors, right? That's not possible. So the Revit can do that for you. So where we can do it's still in the Analyze tab. You click the Analyze, right? Then you can see there's called the Color Fill Legend. So you select that, right? And then you can see your mouse cursor has one thing called the No Color Scheme Assigned to View, right? Because we did not create that yet. Okay. And then here we need to, before we click the left button, you need to do one settings. You need to click the edit type, and then you need to say show title, right? Okay. Otherwise, if you increase the colors, it will not show in the legend. Okay. I click OK, right? So I can place the legend in somewhere. So normally we put it on the upper right corner, right? Okay, so here, so I click that, then you can see there the dialog box pop up. So it will ask you how do we create the color scheme based on what. So there has some options. You click that. So don't be too fast. I do see some people, so they are too fast. They click, then they did not read that. They did not change that. So they directly create the color based on the space, right? So they need to start over. Okay. So I select the HVAC zones, right? That's what our purpose. Okay. And the schema one, that's by default. So we did not create any schema, so we can use the default. Later on we revise that. Okay, I click OK. Then you see it's calculating, right? Then you can see all the colors is showed. So right now it's too big, right? You can type the ZA, so to zoom to fit, right? So it can show it properly, right? So that's good. Okay, so that's colors. So then you probably want to edit that, right? So just click the schema. Then you will activate the color fill legend this tab. So you can see there the edit, right? You click that. Okay, so you open the edit color scheme, right there. So from here, the dialog box, you can name that, right? So the title is the default, the schema 1 legend. It's weird. No one understands the meanings. So you can input some meaningful names for that. Right? For example, it's the first floor. So you can input the name as shown in the slides. So HVAC zones, right? Level 1 HVAC zones. Okay. And the color, you also can click that. You can change, right? If you want to think here, the default generate by the Revit is good, so you can keep that. So you can click the apply if you still want to do some things. If not, you just click OK, right? So let's say here I click edit scheme. So mistake. I click cancels. So zones, right? I click apply, right? So you can see here the name changed, right? Okay, it's a level 1, right? Okay, so I click OK. So level 1s. So, but that's just for the first floor. For the second floor, you see nothing there, right? Okay, so we need to repeat the step as what we did in the first floor. So you type the VG, so you can turn off this reference line. Right. Then you go to the color, fill, legend, right? And then don't forget to edit the type. Double check the title is checked, right? Okay. Then you press here, right? And it will ask you this. Then you select the HVAC zone, right? Still use the schema 1. Then press OK. So it will calculate, shown like this, right? But you see, because we still use the HVAC schema 1, so the name is still the same, right? It's still called the level 1 HVAC zones. So of course we need to do something, right? Okay. Then you see here, right? Okay. So I click the edit, right? The schema 1. But right now you cannot directly edit the title. If you edit here, change it to level 2. So the first floor, the legend name also will change it as well. So what we can do, we need to create another schema for the second floor, right? So they will not conflict on the name. Okay. So what we can do, you select the schema, right? Then here you see that's called a duplicate, right? So you click that, right? So you can see it will pop up another one. So you can change the name or just keep the default name, right? Doesn't matter. Okay, I click OK. So you can see I will have this one, and then I can change to here, change the names, right? The HVAC zone 2. So you can see level 2. So you see it's a change, right? And also sometimes I want to change the colors. For example, like the corridor, right? So I don't want that colors. So let's say to corridor here. So you see here, right? I don't want to use that color. I can change to the gray color, right? Okay. So you just click this, right? So if you know that colors, you can pick up, or you just, for example, I can just use this one, right? Okay. Then I press OK. That's a gray color. Okay. Then you can also change the shape, right? Like the slides suggested. Okay. The shape is you can change to the orange color, right? So the orange color. So then you press OK. So you see it's orange color. Then you can click apply, or click OK, save and leave, right? So click OK. So you see the color to the orange, right? The corridor to the gray, so it changed, right? Okay. That's the second floor, right? Okay, so that's for the zone colors. So you can follow the steps and you do it by yourself. Okay, make sure you repeat the steps, right? Follow the videos, not just watch. So watch a video will not does not mean you understand and know how to do that in the Revit. So only when you can repeat the step, can replicate, right, or the project, then I can say you have mastered the basic knowledge about the Revit. Otherwise, you just I can say you just know how to watch the video, right? Okay, so that's it for today. So because I know it looks like very simple, but it involves some more work because you need to create the spaces for the first floor and the second floor, right? And also you need to create the zones. So that involves some work, right? But and also I want to mention for the stairwell, you need to select the stairwell in the first floor and the second floor, right? Group them into the same zone. So you need to use the method we introduced in the class, right? So don't so when you do that, when you need to pay attention, okay? That's also a point easy to make mistakes in the past. Okay, so that's it for today. So if you have any questions, so you can let me know, okay? So and also so in next class, so we will continue, right? So before the midterm, we will try to before beginning of October, right? We try to finish the mechanical, then we can get into the electrical.